So here is Lissavorra Quality, aka B, and we are at Stable View, competing in the 2-star, and just getting her ready to come down the center line and making sure I'm really straight. And she is being very good and right in between my aids, so I can keep as straight as possible and really work on getting those points. Making sure I prepare for my turn. And she's really nice and soft, moving off my leg, which is nice. And she makes for a really nice picture because she can come up through her frame, and she's getting much stronger through her hind end. That was really nice through the turn there. Now I'm going to prepare for my leg yield. You want to make sure the shoulders are leading, but you have good crossover and good bend. And then making sure then I keep her absolutely straight on the center line. And then preparing for the leg yield the other way. She almost started to lead with the haunches, but I was able to catch it. And again, making sure we're nice and straight. And then across the diagonal for her lengthened trot. And again, she's getting much stronger, really starting to push and lift. I still probably need her hocks to come a little bit further under, but that's a work in progress. And then a nice transition to her walk. She has a lovely walk, but sometimes she likes to do the little head bob a little bit against the contact. So I try to really push her forward into the contact so she can come up and over her back. And now this is the free walk. So they want to see the horse's head long and low and nice and swinging, with a very large overstep, which is what she's doing. And then I have to get her back together for her working walk to come in here and prepare for our halt at D. And I was really pleased with her there. And for our rein back, a little bit on the nervous side for her, but it was a huge improvement because she can be quite nervous about the rein back, but I was really pleased with her rideability in there. And then into the canter. And then preparing now for our medium canter down the long side. She felt a little tight, but so I was a little cautious, and I could also feel the haunches swing a little bit. So really working on that shoulder 4, and then preparing her for across the diagonal, where I have to give the contact 3 to 4 strides over the center line, and then coming back. And I mean, this can be quite difficult on the horses at this level, for them to go across the diagonal, for them to lose the support a little bit, but she did a very good job in holding her balance, which that is the point, I guess. Now into my half 20-meter circle to prepare for the canter over the center line. And she's feeling very rideable, very with me. Now preparing for the medium down this long side. She's a little bit stronger on her right lead, so I felt like I could show that a bit more. And then making sure I come back for the transition. And again, getting her nice and balanced and prepared for crossing the diagonal and the counter canter, and then giving that 3 to 4 strides, making sure we stay in balance. And then our final transition to trot. And then preparing for the turn, making sure I'm nice and straight again on the center line, and coming into our final halt. and just really pleased with her rideability and relaxation. This is probably one of our best tests that we've put down, and she ended up scoring a 26 and putting us in the lead. So really, really thrilled with her and her progress. And moving on to show jump. This show jump actually was proving to be quite difficult. And as you guys can see, we went fairly early in the morning and the light was a bit tricky. So just getting her kind of geared up and coming in here, she can sometimes get a bit strong. So the rideability and the jumping is something that we're always working on. So she makes a nice shape over the first jump. And good to the second. And now coming down this line, which is again kind of going almost directly into that sunlight. She makes a good shape over this. And just jumped a little flat coming in, but I really liked her reaction over the B element. So it's just a little bit of a green mistake there. Now preparing here as we come down this line. She gets a little bit strong, but still keeping the rideability. Because when she gets a little bit in my hand like that, she'll drop her back, and that's when she starts jumping a little flat. So just working on keeping the connection. And she made a good shape over that. And again, we also have to make sure we keep the pace up, because then time is in order. So it's a balancing act. Coming into the final line. Jump that really good. So, the one rail, but we still held our first place. So all in all, we're moving on to cross country now. We had a little bit of room to have some time on the course, but it was really important that we had a clean round. And for me, it was just looking to have a really nice, positive cross country go. And again, working on the rideability and having her kind of stay with me is the most important thing. She can tend to kind of get some of her own ideas about sometimes the track or where we should go on course. So that's just something that we're working on and building our relationship towards, and those things take time. And over that big table, she kind of was doing a right-handed drift because she just wanted to head a little bit back to the barns. And so then she had to make a decision when we got to that table and got a little bit under it. But right here, I'm getting her to kind of come back, and she stalled a little bit at the rails. And then she was really good through the double there. So that's kind of like the things that I mean, like just working out those kinks there of, really solidifying our partnership. And also for her, just gaining the experience, because that's the biggest thing. That's what she's at this level for. And here you can see her massive stride really covering the ground, and she really has a lot of scope. And then coming down through the final combination, which was another rails, and then we went into the water, up a bank, off a bank, and then to a corner. And I was really pleased with how well she listened to me here. And overall, after we kind of smoothed out things through the course, we had a really good round. And just with a couple of time faults, we ended up holding our lead, and we won the 2-star. So really pleased with Beatrice, and looking forward for her to competing in the 2-star long.